and you start off at Speed Weeks at the World Series of Asphalt, and you have a great showing. I want to say I believe your worst finish was 12th, but besides that, I think that was your only finish outside of the top 10, and the others were 7th and all top fives, and of course the win. What was the confidence boost like for that? And just you've been working with the team, and you're in your first true performance with them in the opening of 2025, and I would say y'all went out and lit them on fire.
Yeah, that week was super beneficial to me. Obviously it was kind of like dirt racing. I think it was like 6 or 7 nights, back to back. So the repetition for me was, super important that week. And just get comfortable, with the size of my car, get comfortable with qualifying, and just, racecraft in general. So that week, honestly, I would say, set me up for majority of first half of the year of just getting comfortable and just knowing what to expect and knowing leaving that week knowing what I did good and what I always could do better. So yeah, that week was really good for me just to get repetition. And then obviously that kind of led into, I think, the Cars Tour race, New River, and just kind of rolled into that one, not too sure what to expect. And then, had a good race there, and obviously, kind of won after the disqualification. Still want to get my first real car tour race before this inning's over. But yeah, that week in Florida, I would say just kind of prepared me to know what to expect, and just repetition is never bad.
Yeah, you talked about that win at New River, and obviously a win is a win, but you obviously want to get it where you're the one crossing the finish line. It doesn't discredit it at all, but I know as a driver you're like, I was there, and I think that's what a lot of people think. That's what me and Gavin thought as race fans. We're like, hey, she was in the fight. I mean, there were a couple restarts where I mean she absolutely had the drive and the talent and the car to get this thing done on her own. I think that's why a lot of people quote unquote Les might have discredited it with a DQ. But what does that drive look like as you say, okay, yes, it is an official win, but I want to get a win. And the Cars Tour is tough competition.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, leaving that weekend, I was, happy, with my performance. Like you said, like, the last few restarts, coming to the checkered, we were always there, to have a chance to win. Obviously, I don't think I, capitalized on the restart. And that's how I finished second. But obviously, the disqualification and all that. But yeah, I'd say, it just kind of motivates me.